Hello there. Thank you for joining me on the program this week. I'm Gloria Umezuke. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has offered to negotiate with the Boko Haram insurgents to secure the release of over 200 Chibok schoolgirls kidnapped over 500 days ago, while the military have given indications that a rescue of the girls may just be in sight. Well, the interview segment looks at the options available and reactions from the Bring Back Our Girls group. But up ahead, the option taken by the federal government to negotiate the release of the Chibok girls has generated reactions amidst the military victory over the Boko Haram insurgents. Take a listen. It's been over 500 days since the abduction of over 200 girls from a school in Chibok community in Borno State. And for most of the time, the advocacy group Bring Back Our Girls have held sit-out sessions calling for the release of the girls.
Tell the world that Boko Haram will never succeed, and they are not winning. And Nigeria will win this battle. We are peace lovers, we are peace workers, and we shall die as peace workers.
The Nigerian military has been reporting victory over the insurgents, and the service chiefs have been given a directive to end the insurgency within 3 months.
It's a presidential directive, and as a member of the armed forces, it is our duty to carry out that directive.
The ongoing operations in the Northeast is a priority for now. This is not only necessary but obligatory for us to meet Mr. President's time frame to bring the Boko Haram criminality to a complete stop.
While Nigerians were savoring the victory of the military, President Buhari raised hope that the missing girls may just be on their way to freedom. This option has raised several reactions, with some calling for caution on the part of the federal government, though there are still optimisms.
There are lessons that have been learned by government as a result of past failure in any kind of negotiation with a group as unpredictable as Boko Haram. If those lessons have been learned and the current administration has superior information compared to you and I as citizens, then I would expect that every thing that the government would do in this negotiation would be focused on results. Anything that does not attain result would be too painful for the entire nation. Not a situation where it would be that these savages have played the country again. We cannot afford to be played again by terrorists. So the most credible intelligence must be what drives every move that the government would make.
I'm not opposed to negotiation with Boko Haram, but you must identify the people you are negotiating with. Otherwise, it becomes a fleece. The previous governments have tried it, and it didn't work. So I don't see how it's going to work now.
Well, we don't know where they are and where they've taken them to, but I hope one day we'll have them back.
The release of the girls remains a top priority for the federal government. Whatever approach government adopts will be of interest to Nigerians and the world. Well, joining me now is Bukola Shonibare, who expatiates more about what is happening at the Bring Back Our Girls group in relation to the Chibok girls. Mrs. Bukola Shonibare, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, let's begin with the President's recent statement that the federal government is negotiating with the terrorist group Boko Haram over the Chibok girls issue. What was your immediate thought on this?
If I weigh what happened in October last year, where there was that announcement of a ceasefire, that raised our hope. My hope as an individual member of the society and as a member of the Bring Back Our Girls group. And not only because that came from the angle of the presidency, the then president of the Federal Republic, but also the fact that it was announced, all over. It was on the news it just would be sheer foolishness for anyone to think otherwise, that that particular ceasefire wasn't true. So for somebody like me, and even for the group, even though we had some form of skepticism, there was still that hope that went so high. And then when we started seeing a lot of the foreign media, the national media, they were coming to the Bring Back Our Girls sit out. Everybody wanted to see the welcoming of the girls. That raised our hope. And then within days, that hope was dashed. The fact that we had to deal with the shame, the disappointment, the hurt that came with that botched ceasefire was really a hard blow. Not just for me, but even for us as a group. There was another announcement of a ceasefire. That didn't go as wide, but at least we got information about that. The parents of the Chibok girls were also concerned that what if this is not true again? So there was a lot of, cautious optimism.
Okay, when the recent announcement came?
When the recent announcement came. And for us as a group, we felt, how can we equate that last one to this? There's been a change in administration, there's been a change in modus operandi, there's been a change in the body language, the popular body language. So it is safe for us to see the way President Buhari has been so committed to our counterinsurgency strategy, for us to say, okay, let's wait and hope that this will yield a positive result. So
are you saying that the parents came to express their surety or whatever, to the group or something?
No, at the Bring Back Our Girls campaign, there are a lot of the Chibok community people who come to the sit-out. And when that news came, some believed that that was true, but that was the last time. But things have changed. There's been a new administration. There's been a change in administration. So now that there is an assignment, everyone's hand is folded. And we are all waiting that perhaps there could be a result out of this particular one. And it's simply because of the change in administration.
So because the fight against insurgency is not an easy one, of course. And the body language of the new administration might be sending various signals. What signal is it sending to you over this fight?
If I look at the actions that have been taken so far, the actions, one, on the day of the inauguration of this particular administration, there was an announcement that the military base will be moved to Maiduguri. That wasn't the case before. We were fighting the war outside of the region where the war was existing.
And you were pleased with that news?
And yes, that was pleasing. Because where else should we be fighting the war from, if not within the same locality where the insurgency is raging? That was one action that gave us hope that, okay, President Buhari could actually be very serious. Another one was the several actions that President Buhari took the moment he came into power. So he went to Chad, he went to those countries that border us. He had several meetings talking about a counterinsurgency strategy. He met with the service chiefs, the then set of service chiefs. Several meetings. One of them resigned, he refused it until proper investigation was done. And then finally he changed them when he deemed it fit. For him to have changed them, it means perhaps in his perspective, these people may not be able to deliver what we expect. So if you look at those actions and then you look at the huge amount of funds that is being contributed to our counterinsurgency war by the Nigerian government and several support that is coming from the US and other people who are, other countries who are supporting us, by the time you look at that shared willingness for Nigeria to win this counterinsurgency war, then we can put that together to say the body language speaks of something positive. So with all of those things, it's safe for us to be optimistic.
So this is an independent group that has been following the government's actions or inactions, and of course also the finances attributed to the fight against insurgency. Has the group in any way questioned how these finances are going and sort of results we're getting in return? Going by the document that we prepared, what we call the Citizen Solution to End Terrorism, that was the crowdsourcing model that we approached to developing that document. One of the key things that came out is the financing of the military. We don't have all the details.
We can't come out with empirical evidence to say 1, 2, 3, 4, but we know how much was spent, how much was given, at least that is in our budget. That is a public information. But if we juxtapose how much has been released to what we are seeing on ground and in terms of the report that is coming, then in the last administration it was difficult for us to say so amount is being released every year. But when we look at the military and the armory, the equipment, we couldn't see new things. And then to make matters worse, Obanikoro came out at the time to say the last time the military was heavily funded or was heavily equipped was 25 years ago. So when we look at that, we started questioning that we can't be talking about winning this insurgency if our men are not equipped enough for them to be able to fight this war. We shouldn't be using guns or all of those equipment that dates us back to 25, 30 or 50 years ago. So while we were questioning, and we still question the spending and the monies that are being allocated to our military and other counterinsurgency agency, is that one is to have the will, another is to have the people, but most importantly is to have the equipment. Until the equipment is there, the will and the people will not join together to make sure that we achieve results, which was why we keep looking at it. Until now, we know monies are being released, monies are coming in, and we keep monitoring to make sure that our military, especially those on the front line, are seeing it.
All right, hold on with your thoughts. We're still with Mrs. Bukola Shonibare of the Bring Back Our Girls group. We're back on the matter of the Chibok girls' release. Stay with us.
We know that the Chibok girls are somewhere. We are suspecting that they are somewhere. We are not yet sure where they are, but we are suspecting they are somewhere. As soon as this is confirmed, we'll attempt to see what we can do to bring them back in peace. And we believe that we can find a solution to it very soon.